Okay. So I keep trying different things. One, I should have a conversation. The click clock, I'll show you at some point. It's a I wouldn't call it a grandfather clock. It's a kit that my wife gave me. It's really cool. It's a wooden clock. So, yeah, I'll show pictures. So today we're playing with gradients, which is something I've barely played with ever. So, you know, watch a couple of videos, see if they're any good. That's what I did. Let's see what happens. I'm also realizing I need to probably talk more. One, because it's really boring just watching somebody paint. Maybe I'll try to make jokes. I don't know. And two, my videos, I'm on two different cameras. So I have a camera, which actually I need to make sure we're focused. So I have a camera, and then I have over here another camera. One of them's recording what I'm doing with paint and water and the paintbrush, and the other one's looking at the actual page. Right? And to get them to sync sometimes seems to be difficult. I'm also new to all of this, so, you know, bear with me. So gradient, starting from one side to the other. This is not a pre-stretched piece of paper, which could be a problem. But essentially getting the page wet. More technical issues. My light doesn't want to actually stay on. Thank you. You were plugged in. All right. Getting this wet all the way up. Even it out. And what I was shown, at least, was to start at the top and load it up and work your way down. And potentially go with clean water, which that was not, clean brush, back up. And now we're experiencing the issue of why you want to pre-stretch your paper before you do gradients, because my paper is already buckling. This is a wet process, so it will be impossible to keep that as a clear or a good gradient. Okay, well, this is going to be short. Clean the brush off, get it wet with just pure. Push it back up. Get some more. Okay, so this is going to be really, really, really short. I'll come back probably in a few days, since it's so close to Christmas right now, because this does not work. Right, so step one, oh, for Christ's sakes. Anyways, step one, use a really nice paper, this is, but it's got to be pre-stretched, because if I'm doing a gradient, I don't have the opportunity to control it with my brush and the water if you have buckles. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this whole area here, right, this is coming up, that's going down in the middle, that's where it's all collecting here, which I'm pretty sure you can see. Yeah, obviously. Great. So yeah, I'm going to let this be a quick little 2-3 minute thing and move on with, okay, lesson learned. Can't do it this way. So lesson learned. One of the things that wasn't on the video that should have been is the canvas or the paper needs to be pre-stretched or you're just effed. So, because it won't work. Because the paper is going to buckle and you can't get a nice gradient. All right. Done here. Okay, real quick to the gradient and not having pre-stretched the paper. That's essentially what happens. And, you know, is it horrible? Well, no, not really, but you can see how it's pushed to the edges. There's this dark pool here in the middle, right? And then it pushes again towards the edge because the paper, I don't know if I can show it really well. The paper, yeah, there you go. Did this warpy fun. All right, so next video, how to pre-stretch paper. Okay, so since the last thing didn't work at all, I'm gonna pre-stretch paper. Might as well show you how to do that. So one sheet. This happens to be Saunders Waterford. No, I'm not sponsored by them. Wouldn't that be nice? Don't have anywhere near enough followers or subscribers. But this is a hot press. What is it? 140 pound paper? Yeah, 140 pound paper. It's actually like gummed at the edges, so it's kind of pre-stressed. The thing is that just helps it not stretch so much when you paint, but it still warps. I should say, it helps it not warp as much when you paint, but it still does. So here, I'm gonna. So changing camera angles, tub full of water. There you go. No, it's almost that simple, but literally I want it to be somewhat dramatic, but to show that you really do saturate this paper. So I'm going to let it sit here for a minute, and then we'll catch up with each other when I'm mounting it with tape. All right? Okay, remnants of my bad gradient. We'll do this again. Sopping wet paper. Not sure if you can see the sheen on there, but this paper is wet. And I'm just going to place it on the table. Those tapes were just markers, so I knew about where to put this, right? So that it would be under my camera. So this is just a paper gummed water activated tape, which is great. It's, if you were old enough like I am, it used to be what packing tape was. So I'm just applying some water to it so then I can grab the edge of the watercolor paper. You need to have either a desk you don't care about. I mean, I care about this desk, but it was something I picked up on the side of the street because it was there. So I'm not too worried about it being a little damaged. And you literally are just gumming the paper, wetting the paper to activate the adhesive. If I want to be really, really, really accurate, make sure the adhesive is well activated. I'm catching at least ½ inch of my page, right? And I'm going to make sure I get all 4 sides. And that's really it. Well, besides being patient, because then you have to let it sit here for, depending on the, humidity, heat situations, and all that good stuff, anywhere from a few hours to a day. Mine's closer to a day in this particular office. So I'm making sure to really adhere this well. Because what happens when the page, it's all wet, which makes the page expand. So when the paper gets wet, it's going to expand. Well, it is expanded. When it dries, it'll obviously start to contract. If you don't have a good edge holding it, or a good solid amount of tape, whoops, pardon me for banging that camera. Obviously you'll just pull it right off the tape and then you won't stretch the board. And once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna even out the water on the page, make sure it's clean, and that's it. And let that sit there for about a day before I work with it again.